Hi everyone and welcome to the Learning Curve. This video is the third installment in my special series on SBAC math preparations, in which I'm working SBAC questions to assist middle school students in grade 8 to prepare for their SBAC math examinations. I will be doing an extensive series in this, so stay tuned for much more. In this particular question, we are told that a local gym charges a one-time enrollment fee of $45 and a monthly membership fee of $32. Let C be the cost and let M be the number of months. We are asked in part A to write a linear equation that models the total cost C after M months. So the first thing we want to recall here, so we're asked to write a linear equation. First thing we want to recall is that a linear equation in slope-intercept form can be expressed as y equal mx plus b, where m represents the slope or rate of change, right? So this is the general form for a linear equation in slope-intercept form, where m represents the rate of change or slope, and b represents the constant y-intercept. In this particular situation, y represents the dependent variable, that is the variable that is being affected, and x represents the independent variable. In this specific question, we're asked to let c be the total cost. So that's going to be our dependent variable, c, equal, now remember, m represents the slope or rate of change. Since the question says that a monthly fee of $32 is charged, then this is going to be the rate of change because each month you will have to be paying that amount. So that is the same as the rate of change or gradient. So I'm going to put 32 here to replace m, and I'm going to write back the number of months here, m, because the number of months, the passing of months, is what is going to influence the total amount that is paid by month. So basically, I would have 32, which is the rate of change per month, multiplied by the symbol that is used for months, which is m, plus the constant. B represents the constant value, and in this scenario, the constant value would be the one-time cost, the one-time charge. It says that there's a one-time enrollment fee of $45, so that's what B would be, the one-time charge, while 32 represents the rate of change, which is M. And so this is our equation, right? So C equals 32M plus 45, with the explanation given here for that answer. Now let's look at part B of this question. It says we should select all statements that correctly describe the relationship modeled by the equation that we just wrote. The equation means C equals 32M plus 45. Let's see all that are correct in describing this equation. A says, let's analyze each of these. A says the cost is a proportional relationship because the graph is a straight line. Well, the graph would be a straight line, yes, because this is a linear equation, takes the form y equal mx plus b, so it's a linear equation, so the graph would be a straight line, but it's not proportional, so A is not the answer, because of the existence of the one-time cost here. If the equation had just said C equal 32M in a situation where there would be no one-time cost, then it would be a proportional relationship. So the relationship would be proportional when the constant value is basically 0. When the B value is 0, then that would be indicative of a proportional relationship. But this is not proportional because B is not 0, so A is out of it. The rate of change, as I said before, is 32 per month, so that's B. That is true. The cost for 6 months is $237. Let's check. We know that the cost per month is $32. So what would be the cost for a total of 6 months? To find the cost for a total of 6 months, we just multiply 32 by 6. And we know that 6 twos is going to give us 12. Carry 1, 6 threes 18, and 1 19. So this is going to give us 192. Right, so the 6 months cost is going to be 192 plus the one-time cost of 45. So we add the one-time cost of 45 here. So over the 6 months, remember that the charge is 32 per month, so we multiply 32 by 6, which is 192. That is going to be the total charge emerging from paying $32 each month. But we now add the one-time fee of 45. This is going to be 7. 4 plus 9 is going to give us 13. We carry 1 here. 1 plus 1 is going to give me 2. So that's 237. So C is also right. Let's look at D. D says the initial value is $32. That's not true. 32 actually represents the rate of change. So that is gone. That's not true. The y-intercept, which is B, is 45, and that is also true. So the answer is B, C, E. Awesome. Now let's look at number 10. Number 10 says a car's odometer reads 2,500 miles when it begins a long trip. After 4 hours of driving, the odometer reads 2,740 miles. Assuming a constant rate of speed, the car's average speed during this time was dash miles per hour. Well, first of all, since the car's odometer's reading at the start of the trip was 2,500, and after 4 hours of driving, the odometer reading reaches 2,740, we have to find out how many miles the car actually drove. And that will be done by taking the 2,500, which is the starting mileage, from the mileage after 4 hours, which is 2,740. Let's do the subtraction here. This would be 0. 0 from 4 is 4. 5 from 7 is 2. And 2 minus 2 is going to be 0. So this is going to be 240. That's going to be the total miles traveled over the 4-hour period. But that's not what we're interested in finality. What we're interested in is the average speed. And the average speed is going to be found by dividing the distance traveled by the time taken. So the total distance traveled is 240 miles divided by the time taken, which is 4 hours to cover that 240 miles. So therefore, it's going to be 4 divided into 240. We know that 240 divided by 4 is going to be 60, because 4 divides into 24 6 times. So we end up with 60 as our answer. So C is our answer, which is 60 miles per hour. That's what that 60 represents, 60 miles per hour. All right, and that's it for this installment. Stay tuned for much more. Thank you as we continue this very intense series on SBAC preparations for middle school students. See you in the next installment. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, everyone.